concerned, Acharya Nagarjuna has said that just in order to save time, I'm jumping, leaving many things in between. He has said in one of in his magnum opus, Mool Madhyamika Khaika, Karma klesha moksha, karma klesha vikalpata, te prapanchastu shunyatayam nirudhyate, which means karma klesha moksha.
The father of quantum physics, Max Planck, however, had realized that consciousness is fundamental, even matter gets derived from the consciousness. We all know that the universe comprises of materials and non-materials, that is, living beings. Their energies are in various quantized energy levels, sub-levels, and energy clusters. For being life, for the living being, the two zero states, that's the birth and the death cycle, and discrete viewpoints are observed from which the energy is distinguished to be.
How can you become a theory? But now, if you look at the different schools of philosophy itself, this is called introspection. Like we observe certain activities, certain things happening in the world, and then in philosophy what they say, that we use our sensory organs and through experience we get something. But in science, in general, this is not true. What we use? We use instruments, sensory organs, and then we try to interpret.
Ultimate reality, and also like reality of objective reality or the subjective reality. So they are so vast and so difficult to say what is the happiness, what is reality. So last time I checked the internet to see what is the relation between happiness and reality. I found out that nowadays people are so fond of drawing a formula, right? So I found one interesting relation saying that happiness is equal to reality divided by expectation. This is quite true at a certain point, but I don't know how valid it could be. When your mind or happiness is equal to reality, means that when you are more closer to the reality.
We fixed it, but it didn't come because, I mean, if you look at the computer, I'm talking about the logic, law of excluded. If you look at the computer, it is based on a logic called Boolean logic. Yes or no?
It may be the material of the statue, the form of the statue, the purpose of with which the statue was made, the aesthetics of the statue. Finally, the uniqueness of the object, it makes it different from every other object. That distinction, its uniqueness, that's what we call the final category, and the formal cause. So this categorization of causality has influenced Western philosophy over the past 2,400 years.
Is, without knowing the conventional truth, the interdependent origination, we won't understand the emptiness of the ultimate truth at all. So that's what in Nagarjuna, what he said was, if a person who doesn't have any idea about the knowledge of the emptiness, and if they ask me oh, do you see the tree? I will answer, yes, I see the tree. But people who have knowledge of the emptiness and the philosophers, when they ask me, oh, do you see the tree? I will answer, where's the tree? Right? So we have to understand, to whom to answer, to whom to talk to. Then Nagarjuna.
An apple falling down from a tree to the earth, and the earth going around the sun, and various other planets moving around the sun, is a manifestation of one and the same phenomenon, that is gravity. So this was the unification in some sense of ordinary distances, ordinary small objects, versus huge objects like the earth, other planets, and the sun, and so on. This unification came about because he developed a theory of gravitation that in that day, when we knew whatever we knew, we could explain a large portion of.
Number two, it has no spatial dimensions because it's partless. Number three, it never exists on its own, but only in combination of other particles. And it is composed of at least 8 substances. What are the 8 substances? So the text says it is composed of 4 great elements: earth, water, fire, and wind. And the element derivative of form, smell, taste, and tangibility. So this is the description of the partless particle, which is accepted by first two school, Vaibhashika and Sautrantika. Okay, now before I go into